Welcome back to the Applying Logic podcast. I am your host, Rich, and I am back with another brand new episode for you guys. A lot of topics to get into today, and actually, this episode might run a little bit long because I'm trying to hit all of the topics. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. I know it's been like a couple of weeks since the last time I recorded, and I know we hit a lot of stuff on The Guys Unpacked. If you haven't checked out episode 36 of The Guys Unpacked, you can find it right now streaming on all podcast platforms at Guys Unpacked. Anywhere you can hear this, you can hear Guys Unpacked. Just search Guys Unpacked, right? That's me and Dre, and we got a great episode going live right now. I know me and Dre are going to be on hiatus for a couple of weeks because Dre's doing his traveling thing out of town. So I'm going to try to hit all of these topics today because a lot has happened since the last time I recorded. So with that said, we are going to get into it. I'm going to start real quick with my year in review checkup, more or less. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm basically looking at, like, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago where we have our list of things, whether it was New Year's resolutions or however you want to frame it. We are at the end of the first quarter. 3 months in, March is over. We're officially in April. So where are you with your goals, whatever you wanted to have done by the end of the year, anything that you put in motion? This is the point where you do your little checkup. Make sure that everything's on track. See if you need to tweak it, readjust it, see how things are moving, and make whatever adjustments you need to make to be able to accomplish it by the end of the year. So we're not doing the New Year's resolutions where we say it in January and then we just let it go and we don't even think about it again. And then December we're looking like, damn, did we do any of the things we wanted to do this year? Nah. The difference this year, we're going to do our quarterly checkups. So I'm going to be coming back to y'all every 3 months to say, okay, where we at? This is the point now where figure out what you did. If you didn't accomplish enough, cool. That means reassess the goals, adjust them. We're going to touch base again in 3 months, but reassess, make whatever adjustments you need to make, and we're going to circle back and talk about this. I am well into my 2024 goals, and things are going as planned because, like I said, I broke it down 3 months at a time. I'm not trying to do the full year. 3 months at a time, and we're going to see where I'm at, and whatever needs to be adjusted, we adjust it now. So that said, it is April, and a lot of you, my friends and family, those of you who know me knows what April means. This is my birthday month. Two people asked me, only two, because it's not like, I'm not even pretend like it's a lot. 2 people asked if I'm doing my party this year. No, I am not. Last time I did Prestige, my birthday party was April of 2022, and it was a vibe. I had a great time. I had a crazy DJ lineup. It was really good party. I enjoyed it. I had a blast for my birthday. I am not doing it this. I didn't do it last year, and I think that was it. I'm done. 22 was the end of it, and I'm cool with that. I am going to be popping up a couple places this year for my birthday, or rather for the birthday weekend. My actual birthday plans are going to be, just me and some friends, but like that weekend is what we're going to talk about. April 27th, Sekou Flex, Dollar Fett, going down at the Buena Vista Ballroom. No advance tickets, don't got to buy no tickets. It's real simple. Everybody is $1 before 11 o'clock. Doors open at 10. $1 till 11, $10 from 11 to 12, and $20 after that. So if you're in the DMV, if you're in the DC, Maryland area, April 27th, all roads lead to the Buena Vista Ballroom for Sekou Flex's Dollar Fett, the Spring Fling edition. The DJ lineup is coming soon. I know I saw Oates posted. I saw Giovanni posted, so I know they on the lineup. And I'm sure Sekou got a lot more in store for y'all. You can still get table reservations and all of that stuff if you need to. But if you're not trying to reserve no table or nothing, show up early. Everybody is $1 until 11 o'clock. And then, $10 and then $20 after that. So it's an early arrival, pay less, spend that money at the bar, and we're going to have a good time Saturday night, April 27th. Sunday, we are at the Bullpen in D.C. Holly Juve Committee, and GBM Entertainment presents Bonjour Brunch, the Creme de la Creme edition. They're doing 3 of these. This is the April one. April 28th, that Sunday. Doors open at 1 o'clock. The Bonjour Brunch, Creme de la Creme. So it's wear white with a little tan or whatever colors. Like, you see the flyer, you see the color scheme. white, tan, little brown, little nudes. Like, come out, not, you know what I'm saying? So tickets are available for that right now at hollyjuve.com. The lineup is crazy. Performing live, GBM Neutron, DJs, Travis Whirl, Major Penny, Majestic, Giovanni, Precious Lane, and Fire Oats. So Sunday, July 28th, that is where I will be at the Bullpen in DC for the Bonjour Brunch Creme de la Creme edition. So that weekend, clear your schedule, make whatever plans you have to make, get your babysitter, get whoever involved you need to get involved to watch the kids, tell your husband you going out to a road, tell your wife you and the boys going chilling, whatever you got to do, but you know the place to be that weekend. Sekou Flex, Holly Juve Committee is a scene. So that's my birthday plans. We get that out the way, right? What else? Oh, it is Jamaica Carnival weekend. I know I said this to you guys for Trinidad Carnival, and it stays the same. I'm going to try to get this episode out while Jamaica Carnival is still happening. And if I don't, and if you have the pictures, videos, and you didn't post them live, I want to see all of the photos, the video. I want y'all to go live, whatever. I'm not there, so I want to live vicariously again. So post everything from the road, the fetes, the lime. You go for food, you hit the beach, wherever you do. For those of you in Jamaica having a good time for Carnival, enjoy. For those of us who can't make it, and for those of us who can't make it, we want to see it. I don't care what nobody tells you. We all want to see the pictures, the videos. We want to see y'all in Jamaica having a good time. So big up everybody in Jamaica right now. Big up the Hooky crew out in Jamaica. Hooky Jamaica is going on right now, so ain't no promo for that. But for June, back here in the DMV, you already know Hooky Weekend is going down. Juneteenth isn't a weekend this year, so June 13th through 19th is going to be right here that Thursday to the Monday. All roads lead to the DMV for Hooky Weekend, right? I don't got to dwell on that. But beyond that, as they in Jamaica right now, the next big carnival we hitting is Miami. Hooky Miami Carnival Thursday. I don't even know the actual date right now because it's all the way in October. But y'all know Miami Carnival is Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous People weekend or whatever you want to call it. That weekend, the Thursday, as you booking your flights, getting your hotels, organizing your rental, whatever, make sure you are in Miami from Thursday for Hooky Miami. Make your plans from now. Hooky Miami is going down. Last year was a vibe. This year is going to be even bigger. I'm predicting it. I'm telling y'all, Hooky Miami going to sell out. If you waiting to buy tickets at the door for this year, you're not going to get it. The response from last year and everything I'm seeing from what's going on this year, if you think you're going to get tickets at the door for Hooky Miami this year, then make alternate plans. Like, get your tickets in advance. As soon as they go on sale, it's going to be an absolute scene. So that said, that's the what's coming up, what's on the horizon. That's why I'm going to be celebrating my birthday. I already told y'all. Hooky DC is going down, then Hooky Miami. There's other things. Summer is going to be lit. Summer is going to be live here in the DMV. So make no mistake, we're going to be outside. We're going to be doing a lot of different things for the summer, but I'm giving y'all the main stuff that I got on my agenda right now. So while we're on the topic of carnivals and we're talking about Jamaica Carnival being what it is, and shout out to everybody out there, I'm going to pivot real quick to a story from yesterday. Or the day before. I can't remember when I actually first saw this. But apparently, Chance the Rapper and his wife have parted ways, unfortunately. And, in a statement, Chance just said, after a long separation, him and his wife have decided to part ways amicably. They're requesting everybody's respect their privacy in this time. And that's cool. That's great. To respect people's privacy. Because at the end of the day, it's none of our business, just as fans, people in attendance, just watching, seeing what's going on, right? Like, we're the peanut gallery to these people's real lives right now. So we wish everybody involved the best. What I did not like was that when it was posted online, that they were breaking up, people immediately went back and referenced the video of Chance at Carnival. And, the comments came back to, I had a feeling after that video of him at Carnival, blah, blah, blah. That man looked happy as hell in that Carnival video, for real. Would have been hard to cook for him after that. Like the memes and the jokes were funny, right? But again, Carnival becomes a scapegoat for people's feelings or insecurities or whatever, right? So let's be clear. We don't actually know what caused the breakup. I don't know. And y'all don't know because none of y'all were there. He said they'd been separated for a little while. We don't know what caused the separation. And it seems a little irresponsible to now take a video from 2 years ago? I don't remember what carnival it was. If this had happened like a couple of months ago for Trinidad and they broke up after, like if this happened in Trinidad and then they broke up now in April, I might have been on board with y'all. Like, damn, I guess she really didn't like that video. But like this was a last year or the year before thing. And I understand it's jokes and it's cool that it's jokes. The problem is these jokes are not always recognized as that by some people who are reading the comments and watching and hearing the story on social media and whatever. So now people are starting to associate this with what happened at Carnival. And I'm not saying that that's not why they broke up. I don't believe it is, because I would like to believe if I marry someone that would not cause a divorce. I would like to be adult enough to believe that if at the point that I get married, a video of me dancing with somebody while I'm out on vacation somewhere would not be enough to lead to us absolutely disregarding our vows and everything to decide, okay, well, let's get a divorce. If that was, then that's sad. And honestly, that means that marriage probably wasn't going to last regardless. But we're going to pretend for the sake of argument that that was what happened, right? If indeed this video of Chance getting a wine for Carnival a year or two ago, whenever it happened, because I didn't get a chance to look up when this video was from, because I remember when it happened, but I know it wasn't this year's Carnival. If that is the case, then I'm going to appeal to my American friends, followers, to the people in the comments who are saying that that's what it was, who are talking about how, that's why married men shouldn't blah, 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 whatever. I need all of you to please leave our thing alone then. Like, don't come. It is not for you. And Carnival is a very inclusive place. It is open and welcoming to everyone that wants to come and enjoy Caribbean culture and etc. However, for those of us who understand what it is and who can enjoy but still have a level of understanding, like not even just understanding. Those of us who can enjoy and appreciate it for what it is and keep it moving, we're going to continue to do what we do. If you cannot do that, then don't come. Stay home. Stay where you at. Don't bother. Like, you don't have to experience it. You don't have to do none of it. If you need to be single, like, to go to Carnival, if that's how you feel, like, if you're one of those people who's like, hey, no, my wife can't go or my girlfriend can't go or blah, 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 cool. That's fine, but then don't come. Here's why I'm saying that. Us who are either from the Caribbean or who have embraced the culture in the way it's supposed to be, who have not over-sexualized it, understand that, yeah, it may look a certain way to y'all, and don't get me wrong, some stuff goes over the top, and I'm not talking about the stuff that is over the top that even we, the Caribbean community, look at crazy. I'm talking about just a simple, oh, you at a party, you on the road, you playing mass, whatever, and you could take a dance and keep it moving. Honestly, like we used to do this in the 90s at American parties. So it's not even just a specific thing to the Caribbean culture, but like we used to be able to go into parties and dance with girls back in the 90s and keep it moving. But that's neither here nor there. Talking about Carnival right now. If you saw that video of Chance, the rapper, with that 7 or 8 second little whine he got, and how they both parted ways and moved on, and you thought that was inappropriate, egregious, grounds for problems in a relationship or whatever, cool, that's fine. That means that is how you feel about it. You don't need to be involving yourself or coming to Carnival, because those of us who are of the culture, we don't look at it like that. And I'm not here to explain it or try to justify it to y'all. I'm just saying we have a different mentality, because most of us will be out there with our wives or significant others, or my wife or significant other can go to Carnival or whatever, and a video like that could pop up and wouldn't even think twice about it. We would be out at a party. We could be out at a party together, and I'm not talking current. I'm talking almost literally any girlfriend I've had who has been from the Caribbean or a part of the culture. We could be at a party together, and you go get a wine here, I go get a wine there, come back and we chill and go get a drink. I dance with you, then make a little lap, see some people I'm cool with, take a little dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing in that video that was out of line or crazy. So if you felt like it was, then that means that maybe that's not for you. That it's not something that you necessarily need to come to or try to experience. And that's fine. Make it easier for the rest of us. We don't like, at this point, Carnival has gotten to, not that it's gotten to where it needs to be, but it has become as globalized as we would like it to be. And it's continuing to grow. And we want it to grow with the people who are able to show up with the mindset that I'm going into this and this is what it is. And it doesn't have to be an inappropriate thing. It doesn't have to be something that I overly sexualize. It doesn't have to be something that ruins my relationship or my marriage. Like, I could just go and have a good time. So that's my PSA to those of you who felt like that is what led to the demise of Chance the Rapper's marriage, was that Carnival video. Then I need y'all to don't come. All right? It's not for y'all, and that's cool. That's perfectly fine, but stay away. For the rest of us, we going to continue to enjoy. Now, that said, I don't believe that that's what led to it. I'm sure that there were other bigger issues that caused it, and maybe that was one of the things, but if that ruins your marriage, then your marriage was on shaky ground to begin with, and it probably is better that it ended so that y'all could both go find y'all soulmates, because you guys were not it. That is the long and short of that. So I wish both of them the best. I hope everybody is able to recover from it and just, find happiness elsewhere. So staying on the topic of Carnival and Soca and in general, we staying in the Caribbean for a little bit. New music. We got new music from Patrice Roberts. And okay, so I'm going to talk about Patrice first, right? Shout out to Patrice. New song, Cook It. And new video. The video is what caught my attention because I saw it and Patrice was looking great. Yo, Patrice, you look good, Gil. You look good in the video. So, but the video looked good. I heard the song. I like the song. It's okay. It's decent. A little slow for my liking for this time of year, but I understand making music right now post Trinidad Carnival that you feel you can market to a bigger market, so it's not necessarily going to be Carnival specific. And I talked about that. So I can't say that and then be mad when artists do the thing that I said needs to be done. It is not necessarily something that I'm going to run to, but y'all should check it out. If you like groovy soca, Patrice Roberts has a new song out called Cook It. And I'm going to say, I do like that I'm seeing more and more artists between like the ones that I don't know who are posting and the ones that I do know who like shared stuff with me that I know songs are coming down the pipeline as the year is moving on. That yeah, we're gonna keep putting out music, and I'm talking specifically about the Trini Soca artists, because if you're an artist in St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent, you Barbados, you better be putting out music because your carnival is coming. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the artists from Trini who your carnival is done, but you want to continue to produce throughout the year because you want to be able to make your music more marketable. I know Kes has an album out. Kerwin Dubois has an album coming out with all the songs from this year plus some additional ones. So I want to see more soca artists doing this. Like drop your core songs for Carnival, for Trinidad, and then but also put out more music so you can put out an album's worth of music that can be played throughout the year. Some more songs that will keep us engaged with you as an artist outside of the 2 or 3 songs that hit for Carnival. This is what we've been asking for. So I appreciate and applaud the artists that are doing it. On that note, I would like for some of you to also make time appropriate music as the summer comes in. And what do I mean by that? Summertime, when we have Vincy Carnival, Grenada, Antigua, St. Lucia, this is not necessarily the time for the slower, groovier R&B / soca music that some of you make during the Trinidad Carnival season. So you got to make some songs that's going to play in the midst of all of that too. You know what I'm saying? So let's get some jab music. Let's get some fast-paced soca too. Let's try to get more exposure and get some of the other bigger artists from Trinidad into some of these other islands. And that's not to take anything away from any of the other islands, because yeah, y'all do what y'all do and you make great music. And furthermore, the fact that y'all music is getting played throughout the year is a good thing. So now we need everybody kind of on the same page, where like, yeah, put out more songs, create an album, but also make songs for the other carnivals that are coming up, at least 1 or 2 of them. Dip your toe in the water. Like, artists do that. So when a good rhythm come up, yeah, jump on that rhythm and get in, make a job song, make a song for Lucia, make a song for Barbados. You know what I'm saying? So all that said, like, a lot of new music is coming out from a lot of the artists that I follow, and I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. It's going to be, and for the fans, the patrons, the people who listen that have been asking for this, y'all need to go and stream and or purchase the artist songs, because what the whole point of them making it is a business. So you guys need to now support the artists in the best way you can, which is to go and give them the views and the streams, and to purchase the music, and when they drop the albums, to get the albums, because this way they're going to keep doing it. So we as the consumers have a responsibility. If this is what we want, we need to give these songs the kind of the plays and spins that they deserve, so that they can continue to be successful and the art form can continue to grow. So I know there's always a lot of talk about soca being globalized, and every DJ and every person has talked about this, but it's good to see that things are happening and steps are being taken. So we're going to see how this all plays out as the rest of the year's carnivals are coming into focus. So let me know where y'all are going this year. Who is hitting what island? What other carnivals are coming up? I'm seeing my friends are touching down different places. So I'm jealous. I am fully jealous. I'm still trying to hit a summer carnival, but I don't know yet. I haven't made any plans. So we'll see how they turn out. Close Connections has a new mix. I'm going to talk about this real quick. If you haven't heard the Close Connection Bouillon mix, go listen to it. It's really good mix. I was listening to it in the gym. Took me through the whole workout. We got to about 54, 55 minutes in, and he makes a big misstep. And if you're listening, and you know me, when you get to about 54, 55 minutes into the mix and you hear the song, you'll understand why I'm so upset about it. But I skip over it now. Like, I just scroll right past it and move on to the next. But other than that, really good mix. Had a good time listening to it. It got me through my workout in the gym this morning. So shout out to Close Connection. DJs, if you are up and coming, this is the time where you can put out a product that can start to get you more recognized. Y'all need to make some more mixes outside of the Trinidad Carnival. Trinity Carnival is done. That music is out. It has been mixed to death. So now we need to start getting into these other islands. We need a St. Vincent mix. We need a Grenada mix. We need a Lucia mix, a Bajan mix. Whatever island or carnival I'm forgetting that is coming out with its own soca. Yo, DJs, I need y'all to get the music, learn the music, get familiar with it, figure out the best way to mix it, and put out some more mixes so that we the patrons, can hear it and we know what it is. And then after y'all put out these mixes, y'all need to integrate these songs into your sets as you're doing parties as we start to approach the summer. Because, like I said, Trinidad Carnival was in February. We don't need to only be partying to the same songs from Trinidad all through the year. So now is when, in addition to learning the music and putting it in your mixes, I need the DJs to start throwing some of these songs out in fets, in parties. When you get to where you go, and time to start really showing your versatility. Go beyond just the music that we heard since December. All right, so that is it on my Soca and Carnival section, and moving right along because a lot has happened in music. It's a Friday, a lot of new music dropped, a lot of beefs, a lot of stuff to get into. So we clearing out of the Caribbean right now, and we gonna get ready, and we're going to get into all of the stuff that happened today and over the last couple of days in new music. All right. So first off, woke up this morning and J. Cole dropped a surprise mixtape called Might Delete Later. So as soon as I woke up, I woke up and saw that it was trending. So I hit social media real quick, saw that it was trending. Saw that it was trending because of the last song, which was a Kendrick Lamar diss. And I was like, oh, okay. That was shocking. I wasn't expecting that already, but you know what? I'm here for it. And hold on. Yeah, so what is the name of this song? Oh, 7 Minute Drill. Had to look it up real quick. So yeah, saw that J. Cole was trending for the Kendrick Lamar diss 7 Minute Drill. New mixtape out, and I was like, all right, cool, bet, boom, press play on the whole thing. I was like, 7 Minute Drill is the last song on the mix, so I was like, I'm gonna listen to the rest of it because I like J. Cole. And I'm gonna say that I am feeling this entire thing. Like, because again, I'm still a fan of lyrics. I still like to hear lyrical rap. So I'm an old school 90s hip hop fan. And J. Cole delivered lyrically for me. I'm not even saying this is the best that I've heard of Cole, but for a quick surprise drop, knowing that an album is coming, so this ain't even the album, I was happy with it. Get to the last song, and like I said, I didn't rush to it. I was like, nah, I got time this morning. I'm getting ready to go to the gym, not even there yet. So, and I knew what I was going to play in the gym. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to listen, and get to the last song, 7 Minute Drill. And it's what I wanted. It was a nice, quick jab warning shot. Like, it was almost like he put this out, like he put out this project specifically so he could put out this song and didn't have to do it as a single by itself. So he was like, yo, I'm going to respond. So since you said what you said, cool. I got a response waiting for you. Bow. Quick response. It was not earth shattering, but my honest feeling after I listened to it like 3 times, my honest feelings on the song are lyrically, it was better than Kendrick's shot at him and Drake. I thought what Cole actually said on the song was a better diss than Kendrick's. Kendrick's verse was just on a better song with better production, if that makes sense. Like, on that Future song, like I like the song, I like the beat, I like everything about it. So it was like more musically pleasing if you're just listening for the song itself. But if you're a rap fan and you're listening for lyrics, then not. Cole, and it was a jab. It wasn't even nothing crazy. Like it was not a finishing move. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the rock bottom. It wasn't the Stone Cold Stunner. It wasn't to end the fight. It was he literally called it a warning shot just to let you know, yo, talk if you want to talk. I'm here. Like we could do this. So if you haven't heard it yet, it's available on all your streaming platforms. Like I said, the album, the mixtape is called Might Delete Later, and this the last song, 7-minute drill, and the whole song. It was like a whole song where he kind of like took shots, broke down Cole, and it was more direct than Cole's. You know what I'm saying? To me, it was more direct. It was a more direct shot, and I'm feeling it. So like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be a whole summer. Like, I'm sure Kendrick is coming back with something else. And I don't know what Drake's going to do because Drake has been quiet since it happened. Now, I don't think lyrically Drake is... How do I put this and be respectful? I don't know that Drake can really... If everybody was just absolutely... going in, I don't know that Drake would be able to hang with Kendrick and Cole, bar for bar, lyrically. Like Drake will say something slick and it'll be funny, but I don't think he's gonna have the same kind of fire that Kendrick and Cole have. And I could be wrong. Like I'm happy to be wrong, and I would be happy to see it happen because I like good rap beef and I like good songs coming out of it. So if these dudes are gonna diss each other all summer on different projects, I'm here for it. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Nobody's heard anything from Drake, and we know that Cole has an album coming out. So we're gonna see if Kendrick responds, if Drake has anything to say afterwards, or if Cole just gonna just wait to see what Kendrick says after this. I'm reading the comments, and in reading the comments, I understand where people are coming from. Some people are saying that reality, everybody's divided. Some people are saying Cole ate. Some people are saying Kendrick ate. Some people are saying this response wasn't enough. The song was boring. Some people are saying this was a easy knockout. I don't think either. I don't think that it was a knockout, but I also understood that it was not intended to be. It wasn't like I said, it was always intended to just be a warning, just like a, hey, if you want to play, we could play. But also, Kendrick's verse was on a bigger song, was on a better produced song too. So, but I liked what Cole had to say. I liked the lyrics. So we're going to see how this plays out. What else? Meg and Glorilla dropped a song, and I heard it this morning. It's cool. Like, I like the beat. I like the little beat that they decided to flip, and you know, I liked the song. It didn't really have a hook. If you're a Meg fan, if you're a Glorilla fan, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. We'll see how big it actually gets. At first listen, I liked the Yeah Glow record much more than I like this. Like, that to me is a bigger, better song. So I don't know if this is going to end up like catching that kind of traction. But Yeah Glow is like that comes on and I'm ready instantly. Like, I want to party immediately. But like this one was like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's what dropped today. And I got to address the elephant in the show business room right now. And yeah, I'm going to tell you, I cannot do this in an unbiased way because I have my bias and it is what it is. That Beyonce album is amazing. I just don't have any other, like, I've listened to it quite a few times. First of all, so Beyonce featured 6 black country singers on her album. All of them started charting for the first time. It's the first time that all 6 artists have been charting on Spotify, and all of them were featured on Beyonce's album. So she is getting recognition left and right. Michelle Obama mentioned it. You're seeing other celebrities talking about it like the album is doing what it was supposed to do. It is at a point where it's undeniable. You don't even have to like country music to appreciate this album. I didn't like country music. At least I didn't know I liked country music, apparently, until hearing this album. So I'm a Beyonce fan. So I'm always gonna have I'm always gonna be a little biased, but I don't even have to use bias this time because it's like, no, this was actually a really good album. Now, for me, like for getting ready to like go out or party or whatever, or just listen to music easily, I liked Act One more. So I'm not saying Act One was a better album, but that dance music vibe, that the way that album just seamlessly transitioned from one song to the next, I had a great time listening to that album. I'm much better. So again, not saying it was a better album. It would just be my preference simply because of the type of album it was. But the music, the production on Cowboy Carter, amazing. Amazing. I like almost every song on it. Like, and it's been on repeat, and I like almost every song on it. So shout out to Beyonce on that one. There's already been talk. So, and this talk may be premature. There's already talk about the potential for like album of the year for the Grammys, and that comes with a lot of different things because you're hearing the reports and people saying like, yeah, if she does win it, everyone's gonna say, oh, it's because of what Jay-Z said at the last acceptance that she's never won one, so it's gonna be like, oh, she only won it because of Jay-Z, blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's a really good album. So I don't think you can be a music fan and deny the quality of this album. So we will see what happens. The one thing I do know, or I am waiting to see how they react to it, is the hardcore like country music people. Because Beyonce already said this is not a country album, it's a Beyonce album, which was kind of her way of saying, yeah, it's Beyonce doing country. So it's going to still feel like my music, right? Which is evident in a song like Jolene. So, because you had that where I'm getting off topic a little bit, but I remember when there was talk about her doing Jolene, and I was like, I hope she doesn't, because the original was, Dolly, and I love Dolly. National treasure. Love Dolly Parton. In the original, Dolly was asking, if you haven't heard Jolene, if you're not unfamiliar with the song, it was more of a, yo, please don't do this. Yo, Jolene, please don't take my man. And I was like, I just don't see Beyonce doing that because of the content of the song. And mainly because of the persona that she has put on is one of way more strength and confidence. And that's not a knock or shade or Dolly at all, because I love Dolly Parton, big fan. It was just the nature of the song did not strike me as something that Beyonce would do word for word, right? So I saw she was doing it. I was like, okay, well, maybe she'll put a little spin on it. The spin she put on Jolene made complete sense to me. It wasn't please don't. It was don't you try it. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you haven't heard this, well, you're living under a rock, because the album's been out for a couple of weeks now. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. The Cowboy Carter is a fantastic album. But all that to say, Beyonce did say that this is a Beyonce album, and it is for all intents and purposes. What I mean by I'm waiting to see what the hardcore country music people think about it and do with it is, we already saw the backlash when she dropped the first two songs and said she was doing the album, and you had people saying all kinds of negative, disgusting things about her on public platforms. I'm not going to repeat, but we all know what was said on the news and whatever, right? From a lot of the hardcore conservative blah 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 whatever people. I don't even want to get too far into it. But the bottom line is, the people who would hate this album because it's Beyonce, not because of the quality of the music. So I'm waiting to see what happens when like the CMAs come around, because there are two choices here, and I don't know which one is what's gonna be. They can exclude her entirely, right? Don't even acknowledge the album. Don't not nominated for any CMAs. Not nominate any of the songs. Just completely exclude Beyonce and pretend it didn't happen. Or they could nominate her for stuff just to have her show up and not give her anything. Like, she could be nominated for a bunch of CMAs just so that she would be there to lose. And I feel like that's the route they're going to take. That you're going to see her nominated for a bunch of CMAs and not win any because the Country Music Academy will not reward Beyonce for this album as again a method of gatekeeping country music, which is absurd, but like just to kind of like not even exert control, but like basically to crap on the album, more or less, to I don't know how to say what I want to say, but the bottom line is I can see them doing that as a shot at Beyonce and putting out a country album, right? So we're going to see if they actually do that, if that's the route they go, or if she actually wins some. Because it is a country album and it is good music endorsed by country people. And it's charting. So to completely ignore it when your awards come up would send a message in itself. It would be like, no, we're not even considering this amongst other country music. So we'll see what happens. I don't know where it stacks up against other country music because I don't listen to country. So all of what I'm saying could be pointless because the people who are in the country music genre could say, yeah, it's a good album, but it's not, and for them, their criteria might be different. But I just feel like good music is good music, and a lot of people are enjoying this album. I am wondering what Act 3 is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be rock, if she's going to rap, because I like Spaghetti. Like, obviously, she didn't write it, and I don't like the way she pronounced Thanos at the start of the song. It does bother me a little bit as a comic fan. But those two things aside, her not writing it and the pronunciation of Thanos is like, I like Spaghetti. The bars are crazy. Like, the song is dope. It gets me hyped just hearing it. That beat is nuts. So I don't know what Act 3 is going to be. Is it going to be a classic, regular R&B album? Is it going to be her rapping more? Is it going to be rock? Like, at this point, she could do whatever. Like, and I'm going to get off my Beehive stand in a minute, but like at this point, she can do whatever, and we're going to go listen because she's Beyonce. So I am a big fan, love the album, and I'm ready for whatever she's going to do. And I'm going, like, if she announces a tour for this one, because I did not go to the Renaissance tour, she announces a tour, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to be wherever her show is going to be. Book it, mark it down right now. I'm going to the show. So, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what comes of this. So, shout out to Beyonce, and I'm anxious to see what's next with Act 3. But all right, quick pivot from the world of music. We getting into sports right now, and something that just got announced, and I don't even fully understand the reason behind it, because I guess I understand the reason behind it. So what I'm talking about is LeBron James Jr., the son of what many people refer to as the greatest basketball player of all time. Many people also call him the second. Some rank him lower than that, but I think arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His son has announced that he is declaring for the NBA draft for next year. He is a freshman at USC, and he is going to the NBA draft next year, while also remaining at USC and entering the transfer portal. So he is being completely flexible, which I think is just it is him showing he is definitely LeBron James' son. Like, he is going to be in control to whatever extent he can be in control of what happens with his career and his future. So quick unpacking of this. He is a freshman at USC, and at the start of this year, suffered a cardiac arrest at the beginning of the season, and was diagnosed with some heart issues. I don't remember the exact terminology, but he fully recovered. Thoughts and prayers to the family. Fully recovered, came back, entered. Was able to play in games this season, and he was okay. I think he averaged 4.8 points a game, playing 19 minutes. Like, he did not have a stellar season. He didn't blow anybody away. He was not a top player at USC. So him declaring for the draft surprised a lot of people today. I've been looking online. Like, a lot of people are like, well, you didn't have a great first year. You didn't do a lot to make yourself enticing to an NBA team. And a lot of people, a lot of the scouts that were reviewing are like, yeah, he's okay. But I don't know about putting him up against the best the best basketball players in the world right now. His game is unpolished. So him announcing that he's going to the draft this first year is surprising to a lot of people, myself included. But keeping his college options open makes sense. I didn't realize you could do all of that until today, but it makes sense because if he is not if he's not drafted by a team, or maybe not drafted where he wants to go, it looks like he is, and I need to do some research on this, but it looks like he is keeping his options open to just stay in college and do another year or two if he's not picked up. So he is definitely following in his dad's footsteps of player mobility and player empowerment, because LeBron was the champion of that. Like, LeBron was the guy who is going to dictate where he's going. Like, he earned that. He is going to dictate where he's going. He is going to dictate what other players you're bringing to play alongside him to make sure he can put together the team that he thinks he wants to play with and can win with. And it's had its varying levels of success. Like, he has won a championship at least everywhere he's been, Cleveland, Miami, and now LA. But some would argue he has also left those teams in worse conditions because he will typically put together teams that could win today, but might not could win tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, one would argue he is one of the worst and best GMs in the league, in that, yeah, you'll trade away whoever. You will make all of these moves to put together the team that LeBron wants, and that you may or may not get the results you want from it. But he has been the champion for player empowerment and people getting to control their destiny. And you can see that that's the route that Bronny is taking, where he's like, nah, I'm going to keep my options open. Like, I'm not leaving myself beholden to just, okay, I'm going to the draft, and if I don't make it, then what? Now, in fairness to him, if he doesn't get picked up by a team, he's going to be okay because he's still LeBron James Jr. So, like, it's not like he's not one of these players who was just coming from a family who actually was depending on him to make it. You know what I mean? He didn't come from poverty. He didn't come from low means. Like, he's LeBron James' son. So even if he never makes it into the NBA, which I don't think is going to happen, I think he's going to make it. A team is going to pick him up, but I'll get to that in a second. But even if he never makes it to the NBA, he's going to be fine financially, right? So he is leaving his options open to be able to transfer to a different school and maybe go to a program where he can be a bigger star in a smaller stage. Like, I don't know what his intentions are with the transfer portal. If it is to play for a team that is a better team and more of a contender, so he could be in games in March that matter going into the tournament, or to go to a team where they're playing lower level competition and he can shine more because he would be the star on that team. Because 4.8 points a game in 19 minutes is not, those are not numbers that are going to blow away like NBA scouts and people who are looking to draft. However, there is the notion or the mindset that because LeBron James wants to play with his son on a professional basketball team, like, That is his dream, that him and his son can be on the court together. He has said that. He's actively working towards that. He's staying in the league long enough to make that a possibility, which is why I'm fairly certain that he is playing a role in the decision that his son is making. If you're a team looking to draft and you're looking at how LeBron played now this last season, and he's still playing at a high level. Also, he is still a box office draw. The Lakers, and granted, the Lakers are one of those marquee organizations in the NBA that's always going to get attention, but because they have LeBron, they are getting attention whether they're relevant or not. Like the sports media, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I remember last year when they were out of the tournament, they were eliminated, and all of these sports shows were still talking about them. Like, what are they going to do next year? What's LeBron's plans for next year? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dog, there's still games happening now. There are still teams playing now. Why y'all still talking about the Lakers? That is one of the things I absolutely hate about sports media is this one-track mindset of we got to talk Lakers and Cowboys. It doesn't matter where they are or who's winning or who's not winning. We have to find a way to shove Lakers and Cowboys content into our daily lineup of things we're going to talk about. So you know that if you are the team, small market or whatever, that gets LeBron James, you're going to suddenly garner more media attention, more primetime games. That's more dollars, more revenue coming into your team. If to do that means you got to draft Bronny, you might be willing to do that. If you're one of the worst teams in the NBA right now and you got a high enough pick and you can get LeBron James next year and his son. So that's what a lot of people are saying is what some teams will be looking at, right? Knowing that drafting Bronny is the key to getting them at least 1 year with LeBron. And LeBron is still a very good player right now. So even approaching 40, even in his 20-something season, you're not getting a bum. You're getting a top 10, top 15 player in the league who can drop 30, 40 any given night if he really wants to. Maybe he can't do it every night back to back. Maybe he can't put a whole team on his shoulders and get him to the finals. He needs help, so it can't be just him. But if for nothing else, if you could get ticket sales and people in seats to come out and see LeBron James and his son play, even on a quote unquote farewell tour, last leg. So I don't see it. I believe that some of these teams that are probably still like relegated to the basement might consider it. So Bronny entering the draft is interesting, and I'm just waiting to see how this plays out as the season, as we get into the NBA draft and we get ready for next season. But the Lakers are still in it this year. They are still fighting for a play-in spot, they're in a play-in spot right now, fighting to get into the playoffs. So this may all change if LeBron wins a championship this year. He won't. But this may all change if he wins a championship this year because that would elevate his status where he's at. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that the Lakers will be in a position to draft Bronny if he's coming into the league, but they might be, depending on where they're drafting. So we will see how all of this plays out. Bronny James declaring for the league, and a lot of good fun stuff going on in the world of sports. Stephon Diggs left the Buffalo Bills. I'm not getting into that, but it was just interesting. Like the NFL offseason is a podcast to itself. This what has been happening in free agency this year could be its own topic. But I know that that shifts what I'm talking about to a specific group. And this is not a sports podcast, but like I could talk about the off season and the free agency in the NFL. Oh, I could devote an entire hour to that. And the draft hasn't even come up yet. So we pivoting off of sports right now because apparently everybody wants to fight. And I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. Why everybody right now is resorting to violence. But yeah, gonna make that quick pivot to all of our celebrities and everybody who is doing the most right now. So starting with, well, it started like earlier in the week, right? But last night there was a hockey game where, and I don't understand hockey, and nor do I seek to understand hockey. So I don't need anybody texting me to tell me anything about hockey. I don't care. But it was on a lot of social media sites today because apparently there was a fight that broke out after the puck drop, the beginning of the game, like 5-on-5 fight. And the memes were funny because like one referee was just standing there, hands on his hips, just watching them fight. I don't even understand why and how the fights are allowed in hockey the way they are, because I know in every other sport, other than boxing and MMA, if you start fighting, they break it up very quickly, and then there's suspensions and people don't get to play for 2-3 games. And the fact that fighting is a part of hockey is ridiculous to me. So I don't care. Don't try to explain it to me. Don't at me. Don't give me. I don't give a shit. I don't care about hockey, right? But that video was funny to me because it is a sport where fighting is allowed and condoned, and you just can go at it until somebody hits the ice or whatever. It reminded me of what's going on in hip hop this week, which it wasn't initially going to be a topic, but it actually made a lot of sense. So Stevie J, well, it started with Stevie J, where Stevie J is the friend you need when you going through some stuff. Because through whatever Diddy's going through, like Stevie J has been on record talking about, I ain't never seen none of that. He's been doing interviews like, yeah, they saying all of this, blah, blah, blah. I ain't seen none of that. I don't know anything about what they're talking about. You can see all of these interviews online. He was just seen riding bikes with Diddy out in Miami, and Diddy's just trying to like live his life at this point. He's like, well, the raids happened, stuff happened, the allegations are made, the lawsuits are out there. Like whatever is happening, and I'm not going to be cooped up in the house just chilling, just pretending like I'm a recluse or whatever. I'm going to be outside a little bit. So we're going to see how all of this plays out. But Stevie J, when the stuff was going on with 50 and Daphne Joy, Stevie J jumped on live and talked about he want to fight 50. Like he was like, yo, let me film, let's get together. We could film me beating your ass, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, wait, hang on. Where's the smoke for 50 from? So, and I don't know, like 50 not going to go fight nobody. Because like, if nothing else, and I don't know any of these people, obviously, but we have seen that 50 is a smart, shrewd businessman. So he's not going to do nothing that's going to put him in a situation that will affect any of his business dealings. So at least I don't think so. I'm perfectly okay with being wrong, but I just don't see 50 Cent at this point in his career feeding into something like that, right? But it was still funny to watch, because what if he said, yeah? What if he said, okay, cool, let's do it? Like, you know what I mean? Were you going to meet him and fight him, Stevie J? Like, I don't know that he wasn't. I'm just literally really asking, like, was the plan for y'all to meet up and scrap? And then after that, then what? Like, what comes of it after y'all are done, right? So after that happened, Benzino was online talking about wanting to fight all of these people, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, the Benzino Eminem beef been ongoing, so he talked about fighting Eminem and whoever. And then, like, I guess he mentioned Joe Budden and talking about he would fight him for free. Well, on the most recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Joe took some time out of the pod to tell Benzino straight up, yo, we don't got to do all of this social media, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you ready, yo, DM me and we could do this. Like, if anybody knows Benzino, if anybody got his, just send him this clip, let him know you don't gotta go on live, you don't gotta go on social media no more. DM me directly, we could set this up. He said, now I'm not traveling for this fight, so like you would have to be here somewhere in the area, but if it's somewhere close, we could meet, blah, 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 whatever, we could get it. And I found that hilarious to be the pre-planning, setup, staging for the fight. Because I've never had that happen in my life. Like anytime I've been involved in any kind of anything, it's always been like spur of the moment. It's like whatever you there, whatever words get said, blah blah blah, and then folks get active and things happen. But like it's never been pre-planned. So that was funny to me. He was like, yeah, nah, like just DM me, like don't text, don't post nothing else, don't go live, don't tell nobody, like hit my DM and we could set this up. And I'm like, why does everybody want to fight right now? Like y'all are all grown men. Like Joe is my age, Benzino is older, Stevie J is older, 50 is like, I'm like, bruh, we too old at our age. I'm not saying we like I'm peers with these guys. I'm just saying age-wise, where we at? It's not fun anymore to be out here just throwing hands with dudes. So, but yo, it's still funny to watch and think about. And I actually do hope that Benzino DMs him, because I would like to hear, because if you've been following, social media and everything, Joe had a couple of run-ins this year. Folks hit him in the club, blah, 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 whatever. So if you've been following, that Joe's been in a couple of little incidents this year. One definitely turned physical, and not for nothing, Benzino, been working out, getting strong. I kind of got Joe in that situation. If they actually do get into it, I'm a put my money on Joe. If I had to bet which one of them two would come out on top. But it's just still funny to think about these dudes, these grown ass dudes, like planning and setting up to really scrap. And it had me thinking, because like even the other day, I'm at a party, and I almost got into an incident with somebody, and I don't even know how it happened, if we're being honest. Like I suppose I was told I bumped into the dude or his girl or whoever, right? Like as I was walking through. Now the party's over, and I'm looking for my folks at this point, and like then they come up to me like, yo, you bumped us, blah 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 blah, whatever. Keep in mind, I'm walking through the event at this point, and I'm like saying excuse me, because again, I'm looking for my folks. The party's almost done, music is still playing or whatever. And when they came up and started like yelling, I'm looking at this little itty bitty dude and this little itty bitty girl, and I'm not even actually paying them any real mind, because I'm like, I'm not about to fight y'all. Y'all both mad small. So it's like, I'm not even like, why are y'all yelling at me? Like, you a girl, he itty bitty. Like, there's no real, what are we doing right now, right? So, and it turned into a bigger thing, because like security came and got involved, and like all of this like separation and blah blah blah. But at no point in that incident was I even thinking violence, because it's like, I'm not about to fight nobody at the end of no party when I'm trying to leave. And we had no drama, no beef, no static, no nothing throughout the event. So anything that happened in the last 30 seconds. So if in the last 30 seconds of a party that could turn into violence, that to me is childish. Like, I'm too old for that. So it'd have been very, very different if we had like some actual issues, drama, things stemming from outside of this event. But if I don't know you and I accidentally bump you, or you accidentally bump me, like a bump, a spilt drink, a scuffed shoe, stuff like that ain't enough for me to elevate to actually getting into a physical altercation with anybody at this point in my life, at this age. Like, I'm entirely too old and grown for that. And if that's you, if that's the time and you're on, cool. I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna get me to engage. In fact, if I'm being honest with you, I'm calling the cops at this point. Like, I'm pressing charges. Like, you put your hands on me, I'm not even fighting you at this point. I'm pressing charges. So I wish you would put your hands on me. I wish an itty bitty dude would put their hands on me at this point in the party, because I'm like, oh, him, he did it. That one right there, right? So, because you get to a point in your life where you're a little old and you realize like you got more to lose than you have to gain by engaging in a physical altercation over nothing. Like, I wouldn't even be able to explain to someone why I had a fight. If I was to get into a fight in that situation, the next day, if somebody asked me, hey, what was that about? I would say something stupid like, nah, so-and-so jumped in my face, and then rah, 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 rah. And I would say that out loud, and I would sound like an idiot, because I'd be like, so wait, what did I really get into a fight for? Because somebody got in my face? And not even really because he was itty bitty. So it'd be like, you didn't even, like, what am I actually upset about? You know what I'm saying? So all that to say, I'm just like, I'm recognizing now that that's not even a thing that is appealing to me, a situation to even get into a fight in or after or at a party because somebody feels like, okay, you bumped them, you scuffed their shoe, you spilled their drink, you did whatever. Like, just say, yo, my bad, and keep it moving. Like, and if that my bad ain't enough for you, do what you want to do, but you put your hands on me, I'm pressing charges. Like, I'm just telling you, like, I'm not even engaging or involving myself. And say what you want. I'm too old and I at this point in my life, thankfully, have too much to lose to worry about getting into a fight in a party. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So, um, so I thought about that afterwards and was like, what really even happened? And I do know there's a certain feeling as a guy, because I'm not gonna pretend like I've not been in any, like I've never been in a physical altercation, or I've always felt like this, right? But there's a point as an adult where it's like, what am I fighting over? Like, what are you even getting into it over? And what's funny is, as you get to be my age or a little older, or even approaching my age, and you've been out of high school, college for a little while. I'm not even gonna say the streets because I'm not from the streets, right? So it's like you get out of places where you would get into fights, and you realize that, like, yeah, every so often, like if you do get into a little scuffle, it, as a man, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good to know, like, you know, you kind of, like, you still got it, like you can still hold your own if things went left, like you like feeling. I don't. I do enjoy that feeling of getting into it a little bit, letting off a little steam, you know what I'm saying? And reminding myself, yeah, no, I could still handle myself if something went left. Like I could still do it if I needed to. Like I still know what to do, how to put it down if it's got to be put down. So that moment, you feel it and you feel good about it. The next day, when you get to be my age, and the day after is when you remember how old you are, because that's when it's like, yo, you didn't realize because adrenaline is high while you involved in whatever, and you didn't realize when you fell, you hit your elbow a little bit, or you didn't realize, like, yo, you banged your knee a little bit or whatever, and now something swollen, something out of place, something dislocated, you ain't catch it. You got a pain that you wasn't thinking about. Your joints ain't hurt. Yo, your joints could hurt at, like, waking up, sleeping wrong, and your neck could be stiff and sore for days. You get in a fight, an actual fight, even if you quote unquote win, you still feeling that days later. I'm not a professional boxer. I don't train for this. I'm not a professional MMA fighter. I'm not training for this daily. So if I get into something, I promise you, I wasn't stretching. I wasn't warming up. I wasn't hydrating properly before. I'm probably drinking. So I'm probably not even in the proper mindset. And then to get into the altercation, even if I come out on top, the next week, I'm feeling it still. So now I'm like, was that worth it? Like, whatever it was that caused that thing, was it even worth it now that I'm still feeling this a week later? It's not. It's a guarantee you it is not. Like, so now, nah, bro. It's going to take a lot. Like, I don't even care about knowing if I still got it no more, because I actually don't want to know. I mean, I can't do nothing with that information. Or if I know I can't, no. I can't do nothing with that information. So if you put your hands on me and we outside, if I can defend myself, I will. But if I can, I will be pressing charges. Promise you. So do what you want with that information. I ain't the one. I'm not even about that getting into it, physical altercation life no more. That is for the birds. And more importantly, now I'm at a point where I don't even want to be at places where that might happen. Like, I'm really, really, because I'm thinking about it, I'm really going to start being more and more selective about if and when I do go out. And I am now, if I'm being honest with you. I am pretty selective about where I go and where I spend my time and how I spend my leisure time. But, like, it's going beyond that to where, like, in the DMV specifically, right? If if I'm going out, one, I'm gonna tell you, wherever I'm going, first there's gotta be a rope. Like, there has to be a separation between me and GA. Because I don't even, in the DMV, I'm not even partying with GA at this point to begin with. Not in no Caribbean party in the DMV. That's a dub. So if I know the venue, and I know all the venues where all these promoters throw the events, if I'm looking at the venue and I know that there's no way to create a VIP area or area where everybody can get to, then I'm not even coming. Outside of being booked, like unless I'm working, doing photos or video for the event, not even coming. If I'm going to one of the spots that I know the layout of. And if I'm not fly with the promoter like that, like we not good and I know that I'm going to be in GA, not coming. I'm not buying a ticket. I'm not coming. I don't care. Because I'm not standing around in nobody's GA with the bumping and the pushing and the everybody. Nah, I need to be back. Basically, the riffraff that I'm trying to avoid, I need them to not be able to get where I'm at, is kind of how I'm putting it. Like, I'm at a point now where if I'm barely coming out in the DMV, and if I am and I do know that I want to be able to chill with like my people who have, been outside for a little while. They more on a chill vibe, like drink, smoke a hookah, whatever. But it's not all of the rah-rah nonsense that I'm seeing from some of these places. So I know I'm going to be way, 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 way more selective about even going outside, and GA is not an option. Like, and now I'm not talking about like going somewhere for Carnival where I'm actually trying to party. Because let's be clear, I'm not going out for a Carnival. I don't even worry about what I'm talking about here. This don't even happen in Trinidad. This don't happen in Miami. This didn't happen in Mali. This don't happen overseas. This didn't happen in Jamaica. Like, you there and everybody's just having a good time. It's only here in the DMV and places where it's like it's still a little hood, and then you got to like think about, okay, who are the promoters for this event? Where is this event being held? Who are the DJs? What element are they attracting? Like, who am I actually going to be around and associating with at this thing? That's where I got to take them things into consideration. So for those type of things, if I'm not able to get away from the general admission people, yeah, I ain't even going. I'm going to stay home. It's easier to just stay home because I'm not even saying I will automatically always get into a VIP. I just know the VIPs I will get into. And if it's not one of them, cool. Y'all have a good time. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. So, yeah, but I don't know why everybody want to fight. Everybody want to fight all of a sudden, and it's nuts. But I will like to hear that Joe Budden. Now, let me not say will like to hear. If I hear that Joe Budden Benzino thing go down, my money's on Joe. So that's all. Other than that, like I say, I ain't going nowhere no more. All right, Joe. Couple of really quick topics before I wrap up, because I got to all of the major stuff that happened this weekend, but I do want to touch on a few of these. Lizzo. Lizzo. She quit music and then unquit music, apparently. And I don't know exactly what to think about it. So at first, Lizzo was saying that she was quitting music. That was the first post where it was like, hey, I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life on the internet. Excuse me. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views, being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look, my character, being picked apart by people who don't know me, and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this. I quit. So that was Lizzo's saying she quit, right? Now, in fairness to Lizzo, she didn't actually say that she was quote unquote quitting music. She just said, I quit. But I feel like I'm not stupid, right? I read that to y'all verbatim because I'm like, in that the context was that I'm giving up on this thing. You know, I'm not doing this anymore. So to say, "Oh, I never meant to quit music," is disingenuous, and you're trying to play us for fools, which is fine. But I'm like, don't pretend, Lizzo. You know. So that was her post. Now, after that, Azalea Azalea Banks commented, and I did not have on my 2024 bingo card me agreeing with Azalea Banks at all, at any point. However, she commented, I took back my criticism of you because it definitely clicked in my mind that I was definitely getting. I'm sorry. I took back my criticism of you because it definitely clicked in my mind that I definitely wasn't getting my point about the ways in which insidious people, corporate culture, were positioning you to push. And there's typos all over this. I'm sorry. We're positioning you to push demeaning initiatives, but sis, your handle is Lizzo be eating. You've definitely given the public license to laugh at you by twerking at the Burger King counter and bathing in a tub of Skittles. Self-depreciation was certainly the aesthetic you chose to introduce yourself with, and I don't see why you play victim rather than just stop intentionally inviting people to make jokes about you. You're a beautiful girl with a handle on music theory, Grammy Awards, and tons of success. Just change the narrative and go highbrow, Philharmonic on these bitches, and collab with, I don't know who that is. Anyway, so, and I don't hate anything she said, because here's the thing with Lizzo. Oh, actually, before I even get on here's the thing with Lizzo, so then a few days later, Lizzo comes back and was never quitting music. What she was quitting was what she was quitting was giving any negative energy attention, and made 2 posts talking about how she's quitting giving negative energy attention while wearing something was definitely going to draw your eyes away from the message she was trying to say and to what she was wearing, right? And I don't have any anything negative to say regarding how she felt about the industry and how she felt like people were treating her. If you are feeling attacked because you feel like people have been making fun of you because of how you look, etc., etc., that's a legitimate and valid way to feel. But you did embrace that, and you wore that on your sleeve, which I'm not saying it gives people license to make fun of you, but it is saying that, like, when you embrace the villain role, like when you see people in sports who are like looked at as the villain and so they own it, then whatever backlash comes from that, you're saying, I'm taking it, I'm ready for it, whatever. And maybe you weren't ready to, and I'm not saying you were the villain, I'm just saying maybe you decided to embrace a certain aesthetic, and now when people are using that aesthetic against you, you weren't ready for what was going to come from that, and that's fine. But don't pretend like folks invented it, like you didn't play into it, at least to some degree. And more importantly, I don't actually know where this came from, because I, for the life of me, haven't heard anyone talk about you in any light, positive or negative, since the charges were levied against you by your dancers. Like, you went low and people have been quiet. I ain't heard your name mentioned, and I was talking to people, and a lot of folks, again, we don't know what you're hearing specifically, but like, nothing's been public. Nobody's been taking public jabs at you. So what are you even talking about? This all sounds a lot like a cry for attention. So you were like, gonna quit music for attention, to get people like, no, don't do it. No, you shouldn't, blah, 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 blah. And then so you could come back and say, oh, no, I was never quitting. I'm just going to quit giving negative. Because you could have said, I quit giving y'all negative energy. You could have said that at the start, but you knew what you were doing. You started with the I quit to get the reactions from your fans and your peoples. It was wanting the validation from strangers. It was wanting people to say, no, no, we love you, we love you. So you could say, no, I was never going to stop making music. I was always going to, I was just not going to give negative energy to blah, blah, blah. And it's just for attention. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't like. It's the stunts and the posts for just specifically to gain attention and gain sympathy when nobody was. Right now, in this moment, I have not heard your name mentioned negatively in months. And the only time it was the people who believed the allegations against you. And a lot of us didn't believe the allegations. I mean, some of us, let me not say a lot. Some of us didn't even actually believe the allegations. Not saying they weren't, we just needed more. I was like, nah, I don't necessarily know that these people, because everybody knows that there's always people who are out for cash, right? And I'm not saying that's what they did, but it's like until I see proof offered, everything is just an allegation, or until someone settles, or until someone is found guilty. So it's like there were people who took that mindset. So you weren't even necessarily guilty in the court of public opinion yet, not fully. So what are you even talking about? What are you even mad about? Like who's making fun of you because of how you look right now in this moment in 2024? It was nobody. Nobody was doing that. So not really sure what Lizzo was talking about, but she cleared it up. She's not actually quitting music. She's just not giving people negative energy. And I just know that people are kind of tired of it because it feels like it's all for attention. It's all for sympathy and all for attention and not even genuine at this point. So that's that. What else I got? I got Ray Monte and Cardi B beef. And I'm going to tell you, I don't even actually know. So I'm glad, like I know I be in the old person section of social media and the internet because I don't know who Ray Monte is. I don't know what he does. I heard he's a social media influencer. I learned this name yesterday when I saw the beef thing online on a site that I do follow. So I have no idea who he is, don't really care, right? I do know that when your title is popular social media influencer, it means you don't have an articulable skill or talent. That much I've learned. If that is the thing, then your celebrity is based on the existence of social media, and that's it. You don't actually have an articulable skill or talent. I don't care if some people think you're funny, but whatever. So, and I know that because I don't follow any of those people who are just social media influencers. I will never know what their content is. I don't know what they do, nor do I care. I want to be clear about that. I don't seek to learn, so no one needs to tell me or share any. I don't care. But I did see the posts where he was mad that he wasn't getting whatever recognition or wasn't getting the type of content or the ads or whatever. Like he was not being included in certain spaces, and he called out Essence specifically. And that's fine. If you feel like what you're putting out and what the things that you're doing are mostly positive and these outlets are only highlighting the negative, that is a legitimate and valid complaint to make. And you should make that complaint. If I'm doing something and I'm constantly putting out positivity and doing things that are uplifting the people, but then the one time I do something just for me and it's for fun and it's quote unquote viewed as negative or ghetto, and that's the thing you choose to highlight and you ignore everything else that I do, then I should have a beef with you for doing that. What you don't need to do or should not have done was to compare yourself to Cardi B, start off by saying no disrespect or no shade to her, and then proceed to disrespect and throw shade. Like, it's always crazy that as folks start off with no disrespect to so-and-so or no shade, and then decide to throw shade. And not even say it in any kind of constructive way. But you called her ghetto. You alluded to that the only reason she's getting the deals and things that she's getting was because of her skin color or her ethnicity, and that nobody refers to her as ghetto, blah, 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 and all this other stuff, all of which was false. So Cardi B clapped back, and y'all know I love me some Cardi, and I will always, like in most cases, because she is so authentic and she does kind of this Like she gives that authentic vibe of, listen, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. This is what's on my mind. I may not have the best way to say it, but I'm at least gonna give you what is going on with me. I do appreciate that from her as a celebrity. And she went off. She went off on him. And yeah, bro, you don't need to call her if you feel like you are being unfairly treated because they're calling you ghetto. Saying, hey, she's also ghetto, but she's getting all this stuff, isn't changing or making your case any better. Let's be real. Yes, Cardi was quote unquote called ghetto when she first came out just because of like maybe the way she spoke or how raw or real she was or whatever. But Cardi has put in a lot of work over the years and still is having a hard time even shaking that quote unquote ghetto stigma that people have put on her, when in reality, she's been a shrewd business person. She's definitely put in the time and effort into perfecting herself and her craft. She's evolved in the game, and Cardi's an actual celebrity. Like the nerve of you to compare yourself to a real life celebrity. And I get it. Social media celebrities, social media influencers are the celebrities of 2024. I understand. Here's my pushback to that. There was a time in the world where a celebrity actually had to have a marketable talent or a skill that got them the fame and success that they got. And then you would call them that. Now, you just need a TikTok and a pandemic, and suddenly you're a quote unquote celebrity. So y'all are not the same. That by any stretch of any imagination do I hold y'all in the same category at all. So to compare yourself to her, who came from a lot but put in a lot of work to get where she's at, is absurd, obnoxious, ridiculous, and completely unnecessary. Do your thing. If you feel like you're being slighted by Essence or whatever brand or whoever is not giving you what you think you deserve, then deal with that with them. But to drag her or drag anybody, any other actual celebrity into it is nonsense. And then, like, I'm not even getting into all the stuff that was said, because it was like, you go online. If anyone wants to read it, you can go online and read it. But like, to talk about her heritage and her background and her ethnicity and think that that was the reason, or use that, and it was just like the whole conversation made me realize you're not very smart. You don't know the difference between ethnicity, nationality, and race, and I don't even understand what the popularity is. But again, I understand that there's a section of the internet that is not for people my age. I'm still in the old folks section of the internet, so I will never see your content. Some of your stuff, some of the people that I'm seeing now, I'm seeing against my will, only because I feel like some of these sites are pushing people on us against our will. Like, I don't seek it, I don't search it, yet somehow some of this stuff is popping up that I don't want to see. I don't want to see Adam 22. I don't know what Adam 22 is. I don't know why I'm seeing more of his content. I would like to not. I never knew you, and I'm trying to find a way to not see any of your stuff, to be able to enjoy the internet but not see some of y'all stuff. And I'm going to find a way to do it. I'm going to mute names or whatever it is I got to do, because this I could have done without it, except for you talked about somebody who I actually do like. And I understand that that's the reason it filtered its way through my algorithm, because Cardi B was involved. Because I feel like outside of Cardi's involvement, I would have probably never seen this. But, that's that. Right. So I'm done. No, I'm not. I'm going to talk about this. I was about to be done, but I realized I got one more. Sexyy Red did a video at a school. She showed up at a school to I don't know who invited her. I don't know who from the school thought, hey, you know who we need to talk to the kids? Sexyy Red. But she has a video online where she was turned away from talking at the school because she smelled like weed, which, let's be real, like, honestly, at this point, turning somebody away because they smell like weed is kind of dumb, because like weed is legal in almost all states at this point, most of them. So like I don't agree with turning someone away because they smell like weed at this point. That just sounds dumb to me. But inviting sex, it almost sounds more like y'all invited Sexyy Red, and then someone with some sense was like, I'm sorry, who? And because of that, now y'all had to walk it back and find a reason to uninvite her when it was already too late. So you made up this smells like weed thing. But why was y'all inviting Sexyy Red to talk to high school kids anyway? What was even what message was she going to send to the kids other than being popular with them for her music? Like, what was the point of this? And I'm gonna tell you, y'all know how I feel about it. I hate all of it. I don't like her music. I don't like it. Like I'm the biggest old person curmudgeon hater that you're gonna find. So you're never gonna normalize that to me. If this was my kid in school, oh, I'd have been livid. If this was the school that my kid attended, I would be absolutely angry that she, if I even got word that she was coming to the school at this point, my kid would have stayed home that day. So there's that. But to turn her away at the last minute, nah, y'all made this bad decision to begin with. You should have contacted her people and be like, hey, we're canceling. Like, don't wait till she gets there and say, oh, we're turning you away because you smell like weed. Because it's like, okay, if she's talking to the kids, is she going to be in their faces? Like, oh, are y'all worried or concerned about what she's going to say? Well, you should have been worried and concerned about what she was going to say long before she arrived, smelling like weed, if she did. So all this entire story was nonsense to me. Like, shame on that school for even doing that. And that's my honest to God feeling about it. Because it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that sometimes I do agree with Candace Owens. Sometimes I do. The people we choose to put on pedestals, oh my God. Like, bruh, why is Candace Owens talking to our children? Not Candace Owens. Why is Sexyy Red talking to high school kids? For what? What possible message? Explain that to me, please. Please. So, I hate to agree with Candace Owens, but Jesus, yo, sometimes the decisions y'all make don't make no sense to me. And honestly, y'all just got to live with some of them decisions, because you should have just let her speak and see what she said. And then whatever came of it, came of it. Don't turn her away at the last minute. So, all right. Enough of that. I was going to get into X-Men 97, The Bad Batch, Tales of the Empire, the Bad Boys trailer, and how much I hated it. But this has been a long episode, and I actually have some stuff I got to get to. So I'm actually going to do a secondary episode that's going to be a short, specifically dedicated to my entertainment stuff, because I do want to kind of separate some of that and put those out as shorts. So stay tuned. I will have my full feelings on X-Men 97, the casting of the Silver Surfer, because I got to talk about that too, and just all things entertainment, Marvel, DC, movies. Because there's a lot that I'm not going to be able to get to today. So I'm going to wrap this up today. Shout out to everybody who's been listening, rocking with me this far. As always, if you have any topics you want me to discuss or talk about, feel free to DM me, shoot me a message, text or email me, let me know, and I will be happy to get to those topics. Shout out to everybody who gave me topics for this week, for over the last couple of days, and today was like, nah, yo, what do you think about this? And to my friends who have just started listening, I appreciate you guys. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the YouTube page and all of the podcast platforms so you can get notifications every time we have new episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. With that said, I want to thank you all again for the continued support. Please be safe out there. To my folks in Jamaica, y'all have fun. Keep the pictures and videos coming. For everybody in the DMV or surrounding areas, I told y'all my birthday plans, April 27th and 28th. We right here in the DMV area. Sekou Flex Party and the Holly Juve Party. Both of those flyers are going to be on my page. So get your tickets to the one. Show up early for the next one. But we're going to have a good time at the end of April. And with that said, I ain't got nothing else. So thank you guys again. And I am out.